I first encountered Tumblestone a year ago when I was browsing gaming videos on YouTube. I watched as the 2D puzzler unfolded on the screen with its vibrant, seemingly stylistic aesthetic. I was hooked. A year later and the game has been released, and for the most part, in terms of gameplay at least, it lives up to its brilliant promise. Tumblestone is a match 3 puzzler, though it's more reminiscent of Space Invaders than it is of anything like Bejeweled or Candy Crush. The game's main mechanic revolves around clearing a puzzle table by shooting and breaking 3 blocks of colour at a time. It's a seemingly simple mechanic, but when it's coupled with Tumblestone's smart and difficult range of puzzles, it becomes a deep and addictive gameplay loop that confounds and impresses in equal amounts. Tumblestone's giant story campaign is full to the brim with puzzles, and each intricate and cleverly designed level will challenge you in new ways as you make more and more progress through it. Although the progress can feel slow and stilted sometimes, as there are so many levels to work through, each time you succeed, the game shows you how much progress that puzzle represents. But with so much content in the campaign, this progression is often minuscule, yet it's still counted right in front of you. After a huge puzzle-solving binge, it can feel a bit demotivating to see that you've not quite made the dent you thought you had. I'm not saying I wanted less content in the game, I just wanted the right balance of content so that every puzzle felt like it made a real impact on the overall experience. But where the story campaign is slower and tactical, the multiplayer side is the total opposite end of the scale. The 4-way puzzle shooting battles are frenetic, fast-paced and challenging in an entirely different way. The skill level on Shonen multiplayer is usually very high, and it makes for a hectic and sometimes humbling experience. This online mode adds another dimension to the game and shows how solid Tumblestone's core mechanics are. The biggest flaw that the game suffers from is its stylistic choices. The main campaign is framed with a light-hearted story, but in aiming for a quirky tone, it misses the mark and leaves the entire framing device feeling underwhelming and frankly disposable. This, coupled with its simplistic, unimpressive visuals and functional at best music, mean that the presentation of the game falls utterly flat. Personally, I never felt that a story was necessary. The core gameplay is so strong that when I finished one puzzle, I immediately wanted to do the next. The story didn't give me any more motivation than I already had. Just playing the game gave me more than enough. Overall, Tumblestone is a smart, well-designed game with a core gameplay loop that is utterly addictive. It's simple and intricate at the same time, easy to pick up but damned tough to master. All of this comes at the cost of its presentation, which is flat and mundane. It adds very little to the experience, but as a result of this, it shouldn't be too hard to look past and enjoy the brilliant gameplay on offer. Games Up podcast would rate Tumblestone as addictive.